All right, guys, we are here among the stones. So tell us about yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ali Madani. I'm primarily a martial artist, and I'm a practitioner of Zurkhaneh or Verzesh Pehlavani. In English, this means Persian-style warrior training, such as Persian clubs, Persian meal, and I'm also an overall athlete in many disciplines.
Awesome. So what makes you interested in doing grip sport and just grip athletics in general?
I discovered grip strength ever since the pandemic time when it hit, when home gyms were when regular industrial gyms were all closed down. I don't know, I grew a liking for it. I saw a lot of people online with the captains of Crush to start off, and I grew an interest for that, and I built my own small collection of grippers, and with time I started to buy my own arm lifting implements such as Rolling Thunder, the Hub. I built my own equipment as well, and I grew a real liking for it. And my goal was to improve upon it and do my best with it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. We built a lot of our own equipment when we started too.
Yeah, most of it was home built for sure.
That's awesome. And that's what keeps it going, because not all the time we have the time to buy our own equipment. So it's best to create your own.
Exactly.
It builds the most consistency in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody has different size hands too. And I think it's nice when you can make a pinch block that fits comfortably for you, and then also have the comp pinch block as well, but you can sort of overload on the one that fits your hand well.
Yeah, there's like Mark Felix, to put in an example. His hand is enormous, can wrap around anything.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But that includes like grippers. He's not as good at the grippers because his hand just swallows them.
Exactly. Just you can't even get your finger around it. It's completely impossible to even start them.
And I like the home build aspect of it too, because then anybody could really do it. I mean, it's not that hard to build, and you don't have to have a bunch of money like you said to start up.
30 minutes from your house to start gripping now right away from the comfort of your own house, which I find it fascinating in the end.
Plus, I mean, you could always find a rock outside too to lift, so that's always good.
That's the best part about it, and that's how we all trained to begin with.
Exactly.
You go back 10,000 years ago, I'm sure that's how they made their own feats of strength.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
definitely. That's where
all the stone legends are out there for that reason.
Yeah, from the Husafell in Iceland, and now Atlas stones and different implements as time goes on.
Dinny stones. Just stick something in there to lift it, attach a ring to it, you're good.
The Dinny stone's amazing.
John Oko will tell you about some 1,000-year-old stone myths from Hawaii that are pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So especially what motivates you to compete?
I'm sorry?
What motivates you to compete?
In my opinion, competition really builds one's urge to train harder, because training by yourself, it's great, but when you have the feeling of competition, you always want to improve yourself.
Awesome. So what was have you done any grip competitions yet?
Never have. But I'm going to actually go for a Persian meal tournament, hopefully later this year, overseas. And I'm going to be the only competitor from the United States who's going to do that. Cool. And very excited for that. I'm going to compete against athletes from Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Russia, and I'm going to be the only one from the United States to do so. Very excited for that.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, congrats. That's awesome, man. So how heavy of meals are you swinging now?
Well, it's not always about how heavy I can do. Every day I have to keep it consistent, because every day if I swing heavy, it's going to fry my shoulders in just a handful of days. And I don't recommend anybody do such a thing. But the heaviest I've gone is 44 kilogram pair, so 50 pounds each hand.
Wow.
Which I have not seen done by anyone yet, at least outside of Iran.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine swinging a 50-pound club single-handed. That's crazy.
To most power lifters or strongmen, 50 pounds is nothing. They can throw it over 50 feet over their head, but when it's all balanced at another complete side, the rotational 360-degree aspect makes it completely different. Even a kilogram can change the whole point of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, and I have here a 1 pound club to warm up my shoulders, and that's the way you start it off, and with that you build up all the way to 50 pounds each hand. And that's my goal, to hope to do my best in the competition overseas.
So what got you into the clubs to begin with?
It's a funny story. My fiance, actually, she got me into it a long time ago. My dad at the tournament, my dad actually, we went to a gym together here in my town, and they had these Indian maces. I'm sure you all seen it before. The steel ones from like onit.com, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically just a pipe with a steel ball at the end. And when I went with my dad, I saw him swing them first time a few years back, and it was actually very fascinating. I tried to do it, couldn't even get them up, and with time I saw my dad do it again, and that's what built my interest, because I saw my fiance. She told me, your dad can do it better than anyone I've ever seen. And with that, I tried to prove it wrong, and I tried to impress her the best I could. And now I'm swinging the heaviest clubs outside of Iran.
That's pretty awesome, man.
It's a strange story, but it makes me inspired every day to do it.
That's awesome. The Mace Man comes from our area. I'm sure you've heard of him. Yeah, he comes from our area. Him and his brother did some grip tournaments back in the day in our area, and then he got more into the maces and does like the mace thing now. And he's, obviously gotten a lot of attention and gotten some outreach out there. So there's definitely
mace is a very overall body workout. It started off in India from the god Hanuman. In Indian culture, he's the one, he carries the mace, or they call it gada in Hindi. And it was actually primarily used for wrestlers. It was very misconceived that people thought it was for warfare. Very, very different timeline, different story, because that's the Iranian style training.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I can imagine that would be very helpful for wrestlers. You have to keep your upper body limber and loose if you're going to be getting involved in that sport.
Keep the tendons and joints a lot tighter.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of benders, because they have to get in that really tight position up top. A lot of benders are really into the clubs as well, for the reason.
Yeah, my American coach and very good friend of mine, his name is Army McGuire, or Richard McGuire. He lives in California. He taught me many ways of club swinging, and he also taught me a little bit of how to bend nails. And I saw him bend the blue nail right in front of me effortlessly at 67 years of age.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, in under 5 seconds, it was very fascinating to watch.
Yeah, that's way cool. Yeah, bending's fun, man. I barely get it to start
even with his assistants. So it's a whole new world, bending the nails. I can only imagine how one bends the red nails by Iron Mind.
Yeah, they're crazy. They it's extreme. I bent the red nail once or twice, a couple times, an old one and a newer one, and it's brutal, man. It's a full body killer. You're sore for a couple of days afterward, for sure. A few days. I was very surprised at how exhausting it was.
It's a very deceiving form of feat of strength. Just bending a nail doesn't sound like a lot, but it takes all out of you, better than any powerlifting training.
Yeah, for sure, especially in a short period of time. Like a bend can last 30 seconds and you're dead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Doesn't last longer, you're in trouble.
Maybe Moss wrestling is another one that's similar, where a short match, like if a match goes more than 15 seconds, boy, you're going to be sore.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I used to wrestle in high school for my senior year, and it's a grueling workout, but I really enjoyed it. I've been a martial artist for 15 years. I started when I was 4 years old. I haven't stopped. My love for martial arts is growing by the day, and I just love exploring different styles.
Yeah, that's cool. We've both been involved in martial arts for most of our life. His kids are now involved in martial arts.
That's fascinating. What do you guys practice? What's your discipline?
So both my kids are doing Kung Fu right now.
That's excellent.
But, they teach them Jiu-Jitsu. Right now they're wrestling and doing Jiu-Jitsu. So
that's amazing. Especially from a Kung Fu school. That's very great to hear from that.
Yeah.
They're mixing it up in the grappling aspect.
Yeah, the trainer at that school really focuses on real-world self-defense. So he has a lot of knowledge in regards to what you can do to defend yourself properly on the streets. And a lot of that is using the ground and getting away from the situation after taking someone down quickly, things like that. So it's
exactly. Yeah. I don't always 100% agree on going to the ground first, but it's very likely to happen. So I recommend them to. It's always good to have that knowledge to get out of that situation if it ever happens.
Exactly. You definitely need to know how.
Yeah, they teach them stay on your feet, but if you don't stay on your feet, here's what to do.
Yep.
Exactly. There's not all the time you're going to be on your feet. Someone will hit you from behind, and you're going to be on the ground. So you got to know how to get out of that.
Exactly.
Completely different story.
So, what do you consider your greatest athletic achievement so far in your career?
Well, I've done many disciplines. I started from calisthenics to begin with. That's one style I enjoy training a lot. I also practice. I've been doing martial arts a lot as well, and I mix it up with strongman training. I have a coach here where I live, and I definitely enjoy strongman training a lot, especially atlas stones and farmer walks and all those implements. And they actually apply a lot to martial arts, believe it or not, as simple as the movements can be. But my greatest strength feat so far was simply being able to pick up my 50-pound meals and be able to move them around. It's that I can't even imagine how I did that from the time I started to the time now.
Yeah, that's some serious dedication. How long have you been training with the clubs?
I can't remember, to be honest with you. It's been a while. But I went through my own trial and error. I've got a few injuries on the way. I've injured my elbow many times. Popped the tendon like 3-4 times, but that didn't stop me. I really wanted to learn it better.
So,
sorry?
No, go ahead.
It applied towards the SAID principle. So specify adaptation to impose your demand. And with time, my tendon actually is like twice as thick as it usually for most people should be. So that's how I'm able to swing those giant clubs now. Well, I'm guessing for that reason.
I got to be like ropes in there.
Yeah, that's gonna help in getting into grip for sure. That's definitely gonna help out. The arm tendons are a big deal.
100%. I don't do much grip training, but from the captains of Crush, but I was able to close the 2 very comfortably and pretty happy with that. Hopefully,
there you go. I mean,
work up to the
be able to close it 2, and you didn't work on it for like a much long because you've been only doing it since the pandemic, I imagine. So to close it 2 quickly is pretty awesome.
Yeah, just maybe a week of practice, just learning how to set into my hand. They got it, no problem.
You walk around any gym or bar or whatever, and you probably will find maybe one person that could close it 2.
Yeah, it's darn impressive.
I never knew in the comparison standpoint how people could close it 2, so it's really good to know that what other people can try to do, because I really don't challenge people to grippers, so I don't know what it
if you walked around just randomly in the gym or in a bar or whatever, you probably wouldn't find many people that could close it 2.
Yeah, and with some assistance, I could close the 2.5, and I'm very close to closing the 3. I'm maybe like a centimeter away, hoping to close it soon.
That's awesome. That's been my goal for a long, long time. I've closed it once, but I want to make it something I can do regularly and not just on the most fired up day as possible.
And with the credit card set as well.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That'd be awesome.
Closing with the credit card is no joke. That's simply just setting it. Every millisecond goes by, you're getting tired, so you got to work fast. Make sure it gets in place, ready to close.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially under an Iron Mind judge.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have to do it smoothly. They have to be able to see everything nice, and there's
not much repeat.
You got to have that control for sure.
You pretty much have one try on the credit card set, because after that you're done.
Oh yeah, especially grip training in general. I tried there's a company called Silarukov. It's a Russian company. They make grip training implements, and I bought their 60 millimeter rolling handle. It's the equivalent of the Rolling Thunder for Iron Mind. Oh, but it's much harder. Whatever you can lift on the Iron Mind, you got to cut that in half with the Silarukov.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
it's a tough implement for sure. I was able to break 135. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm hoping to increase it more, but with one shot, you get tired. I can't do it again.
What are you doing on the Rolling Thunder?
I haven't tried, but I'm definitely going to max out on that. And I'll let you all know with time.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have our rolling handles
to dust.
What's that? Get the crush to dust?
I think that seems in my caliber to possess it. I just need to I just need to learn how to break 200. Hoping to do that.
That is the one that usually trips people up, is 200 on the Rolling Thunder. That's the one most people have to work towards.
On the HUD right now, my PR is 40 pounds.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you're real close on that one.
Yeah, and I'm planning to. I don't know. I really don't know my measurement for Rolling Thunder. Earlier in the FaceTime or the Zoom call, I said that I bought a Rolling Thunder, but it was I tried to actually meant to say Larukov twist.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. The one we're using is really slick, like the Silarukov is. Yeah. And the Rolling Thunder has a little bit of texture to it. It doesn't spin real fast. So
exactly. If you hold it out, it's going to stay in place.
Is pretty tough. It's probably like 20%, maybe 10-20% tougher than the Rolling Thunder. And they say the hardest ones, like the Raptor, can be as much as like 30% tougher than the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah.
So 135 on the Silarukov, I imagine you're good for 160 plus on the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah. I'm hoping so. That'll be great to see. I just need to buy myself a Rolling Thunder by Ironbind to see that result.
So on the opposite side of your greatest athletic achievement, what do you consider your greatest blunder, blooper, or injury?
My greatest, that's a good question. When I started out doing Persian clubs, I had my ego was very high from high school. I was like, I could bench 235. I should be able to, 20 pounds is nothing. I tried it and I knocked myself unconscious for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, just imagine like a 20-pound baseball bat hitting you on the head.
Oh.
Not the best feeling. But that's awesome. What broke my ego. And that's when I learned you had to start from the bottom and build up to it.
Yeah, we all have to learn the hard way. There's definitely
there's no easy way when you want to become the best you can possibly be.
That's definitely the hard way, though.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. So you said you're going to go compete overseas. Do you have any other major athletic goals that you're aiming towards right now?
At the moment, I'm actually practicing gymnastics, hoping one day I can get a world record on the iron cross hold.
Okay.
So, which right now I think is like 35 seconds, and hoping to break that one day. That'll be great.
That's awesome. That's a heck of heck of a move. Yeah, to hold for 35 seconds, that'd be pretty astounding.
Even in the Olympic qualification standpoint, you have to hold only 6 seconds. So 35 seconds, it's going to take a long time, maybe even a few years.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll have to post some videos of that, definitely.
Oh yeah, 100%. Right now I'm just training on the down low, hoping my best to improve upon that.
Yeah, Kapu that we've trained with. We trained with the climber that has the dead hang record.
Oh yeah,
on vertical poles. He's like hung for like almost 6 minutes or something.
Something crazy.
Yeah, a long time. And
6
a dead
minutes
hang on vertical poles.
That's strange. Not like a Rogue Fitness back then used to do a challenge. During the pandemic, they made many challenges. One of them being the dead hang record. Some man from, I think, Sweden, a rock climber, he got 20 minutes or 18 minutes.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's insane. I don't know the amount of strength you need and mental strength to hold that time. Because physical strength is going to burn out quick on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to, that's all mental, 100%.
Yep, absolutely.
The same with club training. I actually hold a world record that I consider. I have never seen anyone do it. And that was swinging 25 pounds for over 100 reps. Never seen it done by anybody. I have a friend, he's not going to say any names, but he's America's Strongest Man winner. And he weighs over 540 pounds and could not do a single repetition. Hence the technique and everything.
Wow.
And I'll definitely send some videos. I'm not lying, this is real story.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah. Yeah, those guys are very big, strong dudes, but specialized training is something different, man.
Yeah, it's a different, it's not just strength alone. You need a lot of coordination, balance, technique, flexibility, endurance, mental strength.
That's where you see a lot of strongmans. They lack in endurance.
Yeah.
They're, very explosive for a very short amount of time.
Yeah, you got to have a lot of speed and explosive power, but the hard part is keeping that endurance going for even days upon days for competitions.
Yeah, for sure. Typically, the longest event is like 90 seconds. When they push it as much longer than that, which they've done in a few competitions, it gets pretty gnarly for them to have to deal with that.
Yeah, one of which being like the Conan's wheel, carrying that thing and walking around.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
I've seen
that can go as long as possible. Yeah,
pass out in less than 30 seconds. And, or yeah, strongman is no joke. That's a pretty elite form of training, like a very elite training.
Yeah, the pressures they deal with are absolutely absurd.
Oh yeah,
it's really cool to watch.
It's fun to watch for sure. Recently, there was a local strongman tournament here in my town, and there was an event called the Hammerhold.
Yeah,
and I saw the people of my weight class. I'm 145 pounds, and they were carrying on 11-pound hammers, and I see them after just 10 seconds shaking miserably. And I decided I was only there to help out, just help out the competition in regards to anything. And I saw the super heavyweights. They were doing like 27-pound hammers, and the record was 30 seconds. And not hammer hold from the front, it was a crucifix hold. That's what I meant. Yeah. So I tried it. I did almost a minute, no problem, and I just put them down, no problem for me. My specialty is club training, so it translated a lot.
That's impressive.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Was that with the 11-pound ones from your weight class?
No. I did the super heavyweight class.
Super heavyweight ones,
which was almost 30 pounds each. I swing 50 pounds is no problem.
Yeah. Eric, what are you guys doing? Come on.
Yeah, I didn't say much. Deal. I just saw them there after the competition ended. I was like, let me try it. And it really was not difficult to me.
I think when you get up to that size, that just holding your arm out is a challenge in itself.
Yeah, for most, exactly. For most people, yeah.
Their arm itself is 40 pounds just hanging out there.
Oh, yeah.
It's just absolutely absurd.
It's an insane feat of strength to do as well. But
so I know you do a lot of different martial arts.
People are. I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
No, it's just impressive how people, like most strongmen, can deadlift over 500 kilograms, or about planning to deadlift 500 kilograms.
Yep.
Such as like Eddie Hall, for example, or Haftor. Something else is unbelievable.
Yeah, and they hold a banana for a minute and they die.
It's too much cardio for them.
Yep. So you do a lot of different martial arts and gymnastics and club swinging and all kinds of things. What are some other lifestyle habits you subscribe to that may benefit the average person trying to get fit and healthy?
Well, in my opinion, for one to be fit and healthy, a lot of people ask me, how do you work out every day? And I tell them, work out every day. They tell me, I always try my best to wake up early as I possibly can at a certain time. And they tell me the same thing. How do you do that? I tell them, wake up every day as early as you can. There's no gimmick behind it. And for the ones who want to train, I tell them, you got to train every day to the best of your ability and what you lack, not what you enjoy.
Yeah, we've had a few gripsters, like the Finnish guys, to say that those are what they work on every day, their weaknesses.
Yeah,
exactly. If you work on your strong points and ignore your weaknesses, you're not going to get better. You have to always work your weak points and do your best upon that.
It's all about consistency.
Yeah, 100%.
So in your training, have you stumbled on anything like out of the ordinary that you would say helped your strength or your abilities or any of your attributes significantly?
One thing that benefited me a lot was actually the rolling handle for grip strength. Mm-hmm. That actually benefited a lot with swinging clubs because the handle's regular sized. So when you get used to the thicker, unconventional handle, it really accommodates towards that. And something I got into recently was the wrist wrench. I bought it maybe a week ago from Arm Assassin. Mm-hmm. And according to Jet Johnson, he said that the best is like one of the highest is like 100. If you can do 100, you can lift an inch dumbbell. He said, it sounds very deceiving, but it really opens up your wrist and your hand. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
And I tried it. I did 75 pounds on my very first try. I came in the mail. I was like, I have to find my PR. And
yeah.
I'm not sure what that is in the gripster world. Like,
how fat is how fat is yours? Is it 2 3/8 diameter?
Yeah, 2 3/8, 60 millimeter.
Okay, so yeah, that's pretty darn good. Yeah, absolutely. 75 is definitely above average on a wrist wrench for sure. You can be like up there with people that are closing grippers like what you're closing. I think we're hitting a close to 70 pounds, and I'm really close to a number 3. Adam closes to 2.5. I've closed a few heavy 2.5s and like some standard irons and stuff like that, like really close to the 3. So yeah, absolutely. That's definitely not a low number on the wrist wrench for sure.
Yeah, like I am working to build up to it, but I'm not sure if body weight really matters because I'm very lightweight compared to most grips.
Yeah, once you get to the inch dumbbell, it'll make a difference. That's when, of course, like 100-pound wrist wrench, of course, could equate to like lifting the inch. If like lifting 170 or 180 pounds in one hand is pretty easy for you. So that's where like body weight will come into play a little bit, because if it weighs more than you, obviously there's going to be some issues with, making sure that you're balanced right and that you have it right. And all these, it's going to be really tough on one side of your body. But there's been guys in the 140-pound range that have lifted it. Yves Gravel is one of them. I think he did it at like 143.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's very impressive, especially for that. That's like pound for pound, one of the best in my opinion.
That is one of the very best.
That guy's amazing.
He is one of the strongest grips on the planet, pound for pound, for sure.
That's fascinating to know that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't follow him on Insta, I'll send you a link.
He's incredible climber. Incredible, dude.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah.
It's the rock climbers in general that they excel in grip strength because.
Oh yeah. Yep. They do it all the time.
Every day.
That's what they do.
Yeah, all the way up to Joe Hodgson's, who's about one of the heaviest guys, and Tanner Merkel.
Yeah,
those are probably the heaviest guys that come from like a climbing background that are dominating grip sport. Both of them have several world records. Both of them take first place in championships on a regular basis. It's pretty absurd. I mean, Tanner's been King Kong for the last 3 years in a row, which nobody else has done. And we were at his last one, and he didn't even feel like he did that well. He was like, "Oh, it was a bad day for me. I'm probably going to get 5th or 6th. Man, I was just totally off, not firing." He got first place.
Guy's incredible.
Yeah, I've spoken to Tanner before a little bit. Very good athlete for sure. I've seen him do 245-pound pinch, as well as a 200-pound inch dumbbell. On the other hand, only a handful of people I've seen can break that style of 45-pound plates, and seeing him do a 200 on the other hand it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that Texas crew in Fort Worth, Dallas area is insane.
Oh yeah,
Tanner's the only one that's
Adam
lifted
and everybody. Very good.
Stainless steel 213-pound inch.
That's something else for sure. I'm sure he could break the world record on the Millennium in due time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, now that he has one, exactly.
Then you got Isaac Newton, who has an amazing pinch grip for some reason. That guy is incredible on pinch.
Oh yeah, when I went to this place in El Paso, there's a place called Waco Tanks. It's a worldwide fascination for rock climbers from around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen some insane competition climbing walls naturally on the mountains, and the fact that these people climb it's insane. They can only hang from their fingertips, some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they deal with torques that those people and maybe arm wrestlers deal with torques involving your lower arm that I think nobody else really deals with. Even guys in grip sport don't deal with the sort of torque that arm wrestlers and rock climbers deal with.
Yeah, I've seen lots of crazy arm wrestlers out there. One of them being Devin Larratt.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you seen his tendon? It looks like an elevator cable in his forearm.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. There's guys that, can go up against some monsters. Like Larry Wheels went up against, I think, a 64 kilo arm wrestler, and the 64 kilo arm wrestler got him. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Maybe that young kid, schoolboy, was beating him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, the second they told him go, Larry Wheels was pinned.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has a friend. His name is Khalid. This guy, he got the unofficial record for the Millennium, lifting it for 5 repetitions, and that was crazy to watch for real.
That guy's going to be insane
Yeah.
when he gets training under him, because they found him and he didn't have much training at all, and he was doing some amazing things.
The way he closes a 3.5 and darn near closes a 4, like without proper setting it, it's just absurd.
The funny thing being is that the first hand gripper I bought was the Captains of Crush level 4. And it came in the mail. I was like, nice. And I couldn't move it. I was like,
it's very humbling. Yeah.
Like, what is this?
I was like, what the heck? It wouldn't budge, and it was ridiculous. That's what fascinated me, actually, to build up to that.
Yeah, exactly. Feeling a 4, definitely, it's mind-boggling when you've seen these videos of people closing it, especially guys like Yvonne Shook that are 19 years old when he's closing a number 4.
Yeah, he's got freaking the biggest forearm, so I swear. That's insane.
Yeah, just my question is, how come nobody has certified yet on the 4 with the credit card? That's something I'm surprised about.
Yeah, I think that Carl will probably be the first to do it. Carl Meyerskoff. He's really close. A lot of 4s come in close to like, well, the 4s back in the day, a lot of people closed were like 205-ish, 210. And a lot of the new 4s are like 220. So there's that aspect that the 4's gotten a little bit heavier. And the credit card set is just an extreme obstacle, especially when you're dealing with that kind of force. So I think Carl's done a 4 from a credit card set, not like opened out of the package, but he's done a 4 that was rated at like, I think 212 or something, maybe 216. And Nathan Hole, I think maybe the other one that's done a 4 from a credit card.
Yeah, and you see a lot of the old number 4s were all tampered with when they're closing it too. Either you got them extremely hot or something like that to make them easier. So I think that was part of it too.
Oh yeah, and the big famous number 4 close that you can find out there that's really slow. That one was definitely not anywhere near like what 4s are like.
Yeah, I saw Magnus Samuelsson, old video, and supposedly he closed it, and I'm sure he closed one of the strongest grippers in the world. But they say that was a tampered video. A lot of people said that.
Yeah, I think he closed it from what the set that they allowed back then, which was a parallel set. I think he closed it from that for sure. I totally believe that.
Yeah, because I saw the way he was setting it was practically nearly closed.
Exactly. And that's how you were allowed to do it back then. You were allowed to set it down.
That's why they had records back then.
A little bit. What's that?
Now it's empty.
What's that?
Oh, sorry. That's why they had 5 people who closed it back then.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also like if the record had stayed exactly that way, we would probably have like 20 people on the list now today. There's been definitely quite a number of people that have closed it from a really deep set for sure.
There's a guy from Russia. His name is David Shemy.
He slams them closed.
That guy's awesome.
Destroys it on the MM8. Yeah, absolutely.
I think he has a chance for sure for the credit card set number 4 very soon.
I think he does, and I think he might have a good chance at the Mash Monster 9 as well. So do you know what the Mash Monster ones are? Have you seen him do those ones?
I've heard about, I've seen competitions about that overseas.
Yeah, exactly. So that's basically how the number 4 used to be, is how you can set the Mash Monster one down to parallel and then slam it shut. So he's closed the heaviest Mash Monster gripper that anyone's closed. He's tied with a couple people. Yeah.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
There's a GHP level 10.
Yeah.
Is that harder than the number 4?
Yeah, that one's like 260 pounds. So
is that even in any human caliber?
I want to say David Shamey and like a couple other people have done very short silver bullet holds with him.
With the number 10.
Yeah, exactly. That's as far as anyone's like gone with the number 10 is a couple people have done silver bullet holds.
The fact that it's near 300 pounds rated is insane how one can do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's an absurd gripper.
There was a man before he used to make different kinds of hand grippers. I forgot his name, but he made just for the funny gimmick, an 1,800 pound gripper. Yep. Have you ever heard of that?
Yep, that was the Galaxy or something like that. Those were I can't remember the guy's name. Barbaran. Those are the Baraban grippers. Yeah, Robert Baraban made those. And yeah, his grippers are sought after now because he made some really, really nice grippers, high quality grippers back before the Iron Mine really became popular. And he had a few sets that were nice. I had some of those. I had some of the paperweight ones. Basically, that's what you can call them, the paperweight grippers.
Yeah, you're a machine. They're not moving.
Yeah, exactly. They were just for fun, sort of like to spark your imagination for what's possible in like grippers. We have a cartoon gripper up there. You can see. It's just hilarious, hanging up on the ceiling. It's like made out of a pool noodle and some handles. It's just to create the idea that, like, you know, people can do inhuman things. They sell one called the Unuptonian now, the standard grippers does, and it's just ginormous. And he even says nobody could close it. It's never been rated. It would probably be like, you know, 1,000 pounds.
I actually, here right next to me, I have a Silarukov chest crusher. It's basically
exactly.
a gripper. And
yep, that's what some people have used those giant grippers for, is chest crushing. Yeah, I think there's been like 2 or so levels beyond the number 4 that have been chest crush clothes, and I'm sure somebody's also chest crushed the GHP 10. I don't think that's out of the realm of thinking. I think somebody could do that, like one of the good benders. Yeah, for sure.
I've chest crushed. I was maybe a millimeter from closing to 4 on a chest crush. Nice, that's one of my specialties.
Did you wrap it in some pads when you did it?
No.
So yeah, wrap it in some leathers, like you would a bend. Wrap it in some leathers and then give it another shot. You'll probably get it.
That's a good idea, because it really digs into your skin. It hurts.
Exactly.
It's not the most comfortable.
Yeah, it's the only way I was able to. Because Matt Cannon, he says he closes grippers like 30 times when he rates them if they're a brand new gripper, just to sort of like season in the spring and take away any possible like 1 or 2 pound loss it might get. So, you know, a couple of times I've ordered grippers like as heavy as a number 4, and I'm like, oh, how am I going to close this 30 times to get it seasoned? So I have to wrap it leather and like chest crush it 30 times.
That's a good way to put it. I never thought of that. I might actually do that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. That's what the giant grippers are for. They even made some larger handled ones, so you didn't have to wrap them in leather. They don't like dig into your palms as much, like the HD 400 and 500 and the Bone Crusher 400 and 500. And those ones are mainly for chest crushing.
I like the Bone Crusher 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how many different manufacturers are out there in the world of grip strength, such as the Captains of Crush, GHP. The list goes on.
Yeah, a lot of them have disappeared too. So you can't find those grippers anymore. It's kind of neat.
Unless you're lucky on eBay.
Yeah, exactly. The GNC ones particularly have like handles that are very small. The diameter is very small. So it's like, it gives you a lot of beyond the range training.
Yeah, and from your own company, the Golden Potato was actually something that got my interest, because I see all these people doing it, and I was like, I got to give that a try. That seems like something really fascinating.
They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, it seems really fun to do, especially the pull-ups. I see this pull-up contest going on. It's really cool. Hopefully I can try that out. We'll see how that goes.
We have some records for the crucifix hold too. That was actually competed in a competition locally, a strongman comp. So that'd be fun to see what you do on that, and things like dead hang and some, you know, some things that are really in your wheelhouse. You might do well with the potato.
Yeah, that's why. And hey, it's functional. If I want to eat my potato salad, I know how to get it ready.
Yeah, it's more brutal on the fingers than you expect.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you could start your training all over today with the knowledge you have, what would you do differently and why?
With Persian clubs is put into that aspect, I would tell myself, throw away your ego and start from your 1 pound clubs, build up to it. Because the problem with most athletes nowadays, a lot of them, our ego is what takes over, even the best athletes in the world. And we're all human. We all got our own ego.
Yeah.
But if we learn how to control it, that's what will make you the best athlete.
I think you see that a lot in the gym too. You know, these guys that want to get on the machines and do the whole stack and their form's just terrible. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? It's not going to actually build any muscle the right way.
Exactly the way I've seen people, they put 400 pound or 500 pound squat and they just 2-inch reps. This won't do anything. This is just egotistical in the end of the day. And
I agree with that.
Yeah, it really means nothing. Or I'm not sure. There's so many ways people can show their ego at the gym, but real power will take years upon years to get good at.
Absolutely. And most people, you know, they're never going to compete, or a lot of people are never going to compete at a high level. So I find it really interesting, people that train specifically for like doing a competition or specifically for like powerlifting type training, when they don't ever like push themselves into high level competitions or any competitions at all. Some people only train like a powerlifting style and never do competitions. You're wondering what's that benefiting you in your life? Like, why aren't you doing functional training?
Exactly.
Why aren't you doing a training that actually might, transfer over into the things that you need to do for your daily activities?
Exactly. I see it that way. There's like a couple examples I try to avoid from seeing them. One of them is Ronnie Coleman, one of the greatest. But
oh yeah,
I feel it hurts me to see that he had the best bodybuilder physique among anyone I've ever seen, and now he's bound to a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you let your ego take over and you lack the balance in regards to that.
So besides your Persian clubs, what would you say is the most important piece in your home gym and why?
I actually love kettlebells. Right next to me, I got some looking around. I think kettlebells are actually a very good overall body workout tool. I recommend it for anybody in the world. They ask me, what do you recommend for a home gym? I tell them the kettlebell. You don't need no other gym for that. A 53-pound kettlebell for a strong male, 35 for a strong female. Swing that around. Find different techniques with it. Turkish get-ups, snatches. It'll build you up good.
Yeah.
Do you do much like the juggling with your kettlebells?
I do, actually. I do juggling with my 70-pound kettlebell. And it's funny because I have to use I have these memory foam pads here and crash pads. And my mom, she doesn't like when I slam the kettlebell. She'll be like, hey, I hear that I'm trying to sleep. And yeah, just, I do my best, or I practice in the sand. Kettlebell flipping is very fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's like two different ways to use kettlebells. There's like the more traditional way, which involves a lot of swinging and a lot of flips and a lot of like movement around the body. And there's sort of like the commercialized way that it's kind of like branched off into, and that's what a lot of people sort of see here, but they don't learn, like see here in the Western United States, but they don't learn a lot of or see a lot of the older traditional kettlebell techniques.
Oh yeah, it seems very simple, but there's hundreds of techniques you can do with the kettlebell that can benefit you overall in any muscle group.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
So in particular, after watching the Golden Potato records and the feats people have been going for, what feats do you feel like you want to challenge?
One of them for sure is the pull-ups, for sure. My strength primarily started off with calisthenics, and I enjoyed pull-ups a lot. I've done over 45 pull-ups and 60 chin-ups and 75 neutral grip pull-ups. And hoping with the potato, I can at least go up there in that list.
Awesome. Yeah, you have a pretty tough competition. Those guys are some elite climbers that are up on that list for sure.
Yeah, I've seen them very strong, and that's what motivates me when I see people are doing better and everyone's improving. I might as well improve myself,
Yeah, absolutely. I think the guy that's in second place, Tim, his hubbing is insane. I don't know if you've watched much of his videos, but a lot of people call him Hub Prince, but he hubs like, I don't know, 80 pounds or something. He'll take a 45-pound plate and stack another close to 40 pounds on it and hub that sucker. It's extreme. Yeah. He's close to 90 pounds. He's close to like 245s on top of each other, or maybe he's hit that, but he's gotten real close.
That's insane, especially on the hub. It's just your sheer fingertip strength is elite among the world.
Yeah.
I've seen like Brian Shaw. I think I'm not sure if he did, but I think he broke 90, but I'm not sure if you can correct me upon that, but it's crazy how strong people can get.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's done blobs that nobody else in the world has done, and that takes a ton of fingertip strength.
Yeah, here I have a couple of blobs. I have a half of a 70 and half a 90 York, and I can clean and jerk the 35-pound blob or half 70.
Yep.
I can kind of break the half 90, hoping to get a full lockout soon. It's a challenging one, getting your hand around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have a half 90 and a half 85, and we've gotten the half 85 all the way up, and I think we've gotten the half 90 a few times. It's tough. You have to be fired up to get the half 90 for sure.
I even bought a manual from Diesel Crew, how to get better with the blob training, and They say one of them is sliding it on a board.
Yes.
Yeah, we've done that.
We've done that a lot.
Slide up the incline. That definitely helps for sure.
I talked to Jed Johnson. I told him, should I build up with weight, with blobs? He told me, big mistake. Don't do that. He told me, practice with the challenging blob you have and do board slides, and they call it monkey gripping, holding it with 2 hands and hold it for time, and many other ways they can do it.
We like to spray ours sometimes too with this tacky stuff.
That's one of the secrets that a lot of guys won't tell you because they think it ruins their reputation or it looks bad because maybe people will believe they do it in competition. But no, just for training, there's like spray tacky out there, like sports spray tacky. People spray it on like for gripping a baseball bat or just for gripping, whatever.
Golf club,
anything. Yeah. And we've used that spray tacky to help you lift blobs that you can't lift without it, just to get your hands used to the weight.
I didn't think of that, actually. I knew tacky was used for atlas stones and some other implements, but that's pretty cool that you guys applied for, or some applied for blob training. I didn't think of that.
We use the spray on stuff.
Yeah, you want to use the spray stuff for now, not like the tacky for atlas stones because that stuff's a little too extreme.
Yeah.
But just the spray tacky will help you get 5 or 6 reps on a blob that's maybe 5 pounds outside of your realm, so it won't make you extreme. Like I can't spray that on and lift the half 50 the actual blob. No, there's no way. That's absurd. That thing's way outside of my league. But I can get the half 90 for 5 or 6, 7 reps, and I can't do it without the spray tack, so it helps. And then there's been days I'm fired up that I've been able to get it without the spray tack since using that, so it definitely helps your hand get used to it.
Something that surprises me that half of the 85, which is 43 pounds or 42 and a half pounds, compared to my half 90, which is 43 and a half as well. It's a little lighter than the usual half 90, but it's a lot harder to get my hand around the half of the 90. I'm not sure why is that. I'm guessing just the bigger number.
There were 2 generations of blobs. Does one of your blobs say USA on the bottom and one not?
I'm not sure. I didn't check that.
Okay.
I might look.
So there's 2 generations of blobs. So we have a half 85 that's about the same exact weight as our half 90 because our half 85 was when they were a little heavier, and those ones are a little shorter and fatter, and the other ones are a little skinnier and taller.
Yeah, the one I have, I don't know, is very stocky, so I didn't know.
It just makes a little difference. Yeah, it's probably the older school one, and those ones are gnarly. Yeah,
those are a pain.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, there's a very small difference between those two, that generation.
Yeah, I feel bad for the delivery guy giving me that blob. Very pissed.
We've had a lot of stuff delivered, and the UPS guy or whatever's like, what in the world?
Yeah, we have a couple slabs that are heavier than blobs that are in the 60-pound range that we've had delivered, and they're just taped up. And by the time they get to us, the package is beat to heck. It's hilarious. And the mail lady has come to our door and asked us to get it out of her truck. She's like, will you come and grab this for me?
It's ridiculous.
I remember ordering a 106 kettlebell from Rogue, and I was just minding my own business, and I hear this semi-earthquake sound, and I hear the doorbell, and I see the guy running to his truck. He throws me the finger and jumps in his car.
That's so awesome.
And I'm just the things I do to these people, should I feel bad or not?
That was probably the best workout he's had in a couple of weeks, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hope I don't damage him too much.
He's out for 3 months.
I'm the reason why he got retired.
Send you a bill in the mail.
Workman's comp.
Oh yeah, I've seen that stuff. It's crazy. Another implement I enjoy is power twisters. Yeah. My daddy, when I was little, he bought me a power twister from some Walmart or something, and ever since I discovered Silarukov, I bought all of their twisters and many from a Chinese brand called Hao Ying, which is they're the gold standard for power twisters out there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and this is crazy. You need a lot of grip strength for that too. You got to hold the handles very tight. It's gonna fly out of your hand if not.
Yeah, we've tried a Silarukov. They're the gold ones with the orange handles, right?
Yeah, those are the Hao Yings. Yeah.
Okay, those are the Hao Yings. Okay, we've tried that at Mike's. Mike Wilfong had one of those.
Yeah.
And his was 100 kilo, and yeah, those are pretty burly, especially just to get the start going.
Oh yeah, the start on the Hao Yings are ridiculous. It's you need super wrist strength. And the way that you improve with that is the nails, actually. Nails, if you're good at nail bending, you'll be good at power twisters.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. When I got into nail bending, I first started getting into the big double over bends, but then it was shortly after that I discovered that there's certain ones that really help with the wrist a lot more.
Yeah.
And started doing those smaller bends, not as big of nails, like just 60 pennies, as opposed to like doing the bolts and whatever, and focusing on wrist strength. And yeah, it helped a lot with my grip for sure. You know,
that's fascinating.
I mean, one of the greatest gripsters out there is Adam Glass. Everybody probably follows him and knows who he is. You know, he's training his wrist all the time. I mean, he's doing plate curls with 45-pound plates. It's
all the time.
Insane. But yeah, that's a huge part of the reason why his grip is so strong is because his wrists are so damn strong.
Yeah, because when you have good tendons, you have good muscle. It works hand in hand because the tendons will connect your muscle to the bone. Without it, doesn't have no foundation behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we let you go, do you have any questions for us, Couch Potato Strong, or anything else you would like to say to the average people out there, either building home gyms or just trying to get fit?
So what inspired you to, with this whole couch potato thing going?
Basically, we wanted to build our own home gym, and we wanted advice from people out there that have been doing it a little bit longer. So we made a grip implement and decided we'd offer it to people that were either, you know, strongmen or climbers or gripsters or benders, judo people, whoever wants to talk about grip strength and just talk about fitness and come on our channel. So we did that basically to get advice so that we could do it properly without hurting ourselves.
That we want to get all the trade secrets out there that people won't tell you about, that, you know, kind of level out the playing field, that say, you know, if you train the right way, you train hard, you could get there. And if you put in the work, you know, if you train for 5-10 years like they did, you'll be right there alongside them. And that's, you know, a big part of it.
Yeah, like what Adam says right there. It's a good point. Grip before the pandemic, and if you go even a little further back than that, it was mainly, you know, it was like a lot of traveling strongmen did it. A lot of guys made money off tearing cards, made money off bending steel. There's still some people that do that, but I think they're more okay with other people knowing how they do it.
Yeah.
100%. And yeah, it's fascinating. I'm very honored to be on your channel. Thank you for having me, and hoping to know more later on, improve upon myself better.
Yeah, awesome. Just check out some of the guys that we follow and that follow us. You'll see a ton of grip posts on there, obviously. And yeah, great advice that can help you with everything that you're doing, of course.
Yeah.
And we keep following people that do similar stuff to you're doing, because, man, the Indian clubs help out a ton with the tightness that you deal with in grip, because it's all flexion and you need to stay loose.
Loosen them up.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what you do on the potato and where you go and what you do in competition. It's going to be fun to watch.
100%.
Yeah, we're looking forward to your pull-ups.
Thank you.
And your crucifix hold. I got to see that.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Sounds like a plan.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, take care. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Yep. Have a good night.